My first memories of starting in music started way, way back when there used to be a Saturday morning cinema called the Penn Cinema. No, it's a supermarket now, but it was the Penn Cinema there. And every Saturday morning, kids would go to the Penn Cinema and watch Flash Gordon and Cowboys and all that kind of thing and suck lollipops. But the guy who run the Penn Cinema always used to get people up on stage. Well, in those days, when I was, I don't know, 13, maybe 12 or something like that, there was a fashion towards skiffle. And skiffle means that you could play maracas, you could have a stick, a broomstick in a square box, you could start plucking a string, which basically was a piece of string, and that was the bass player. And I think I had thimbles on the thing, and I was playing a washboard. And it was called skiffle, and there was Lonnie Donegan, Tommy Steele, and it was a particular style, which I think came from America. But it was a means of people not necessarily knowing how to play, but to actually make a noise so they could just, make a racket. And I always remember it was my first experience of standing on the stage that I fancied a girl down the front, and it was just somebody from my past, which is in my book too. And she used to sit down the front. She was blonde, and I felt what it was like to stand on the stage and not play a guitar at the time, actually. But later, when that guitar arrived from Kay's catalogue, due to a fact that a local lad had got an acoustic guitar, and I didn't really know much about acoustic guitar, but I thought, I don't play an instrument, I need to play something. And skiffle, it seemed interesting, but this kid had got a guitar, and of course at that time there was Buddy Holly, there was Elvis, there was, as I say, Lonnie Donegan and things like that. And you just sort of thought, well, I'm going to have a go at this. And so me and this kid named Ray used to just play in our mother's bedroom. We both had these crap guitars, and we just, learning, I don't know, I think the first song was Tell Laura I Love Her, which was, quite an emotional tune. But we used to get we used to get the sheet music to learn the chords because we couldn't play chords, you see. So we had to learn how to finger the fingers on the guitar neck. And then when I learned that, it went on from there, you see. And I had a school teacher at my school who taught me to how to play the guitar and become actually right-handed. It was to do with him. But then what really happened, which is really great, is that acoustic guitar became electric. People experimented with little pickups on the acoustic guitar. Then from that, it went to the magnificent solid guitar, which the only first time I ever saw that was Buddy Holly standing there with a Fender, and it was like, what's that about? And then came Cliff. Now, because of Elvis, Cliff came after that. And Cliff looked a bit like Elvis, but it was Hank Marvin, the guy with the glasses. And because I've always been fond of melody, it was like, wow, instrumentals, You didn't have to sing. You could play things, And they brought this song out called Apache. It was all this whammy bar and bending and Hank and the sound of echo. It was like, wow, what's this alien being sounded, I remember going to this place in Bilston, it wasn't far from here, and a guy got an echo chamber. And it was just the sound of, it was almost like going into space and something really odd. Because he used to play notes and you heard it going cha-cha-cha-cha and repeating. But Hank cleverly used the echo, but he also muted his notes. And as he muted them, it was sort of like just holding down your wrist like that. But he muted, and the muting created a and it was like, apparently, I think it was Joe Brown gave him an echo chamber, and he said, "Oh, I can't use it." Hank got it, and then when I heard the Shadows, it was just like, it was a revelation. This pinky red Fender, and then they're all standing there, looking. But it was because they had melody, Apache and Theme for Young Lovers and and all that sort of stuff. And my dad liked them as well, you know. It was like, and so I got Dad to buy me a guitar up in Wolverhampton again, the bandbox, and I brought it home, and eventually I just telling Dad, I said, I sound much, much better if I get this echo chamber. I think it was a Watkins that I first bought. And, wow, I mean, in Dad's front room with the Watkins and everything, you know, and listening to Shadows records, the melodies really got to me. Wonderful Land in particular. Not just Apache, but many others. That the melody side of it was what really attracted me. And it attracted many famous guitarists at that time. But for me, it was everything. And listening to those records, learning it. I remember this, you know, when I met Don and I learned this one Shadows track. And Don said, oh, that's good, you know. But Dad said, well, that's good, son. He said, not as good as Hank Marvin. He said, but that, you know, because Dad was always one to sort of keep me moving forward. But learning that, it was like, it really meant something. It meant like you're part of something. And I mean, Long Hair wasn't in, the Beatles hadn't made it, and the Stones weren't in. But Cliff and the Shadows were an absolute open door for me. An open door to expressing myself, being in love with melody, and taking it from there, which obviously led to other things later on. But that, to me, is paramountly important in my story. The Shadows, Hank, melody, the time, and feeling part of something. And then obviously I learned from there and went on from there until eventually I would turn professional.